There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You haven't just woken up from a horrible dream. Oxford United have just lost 3-0 against Blackpool in the playoff semi-final. That was the home leg, and I feel like I've just woken up from one of the worst nightmares I've ever woken up from. That was absolutely horrific. We're going to get straight into it. We've got loads of people in here already, which surprises me. I'm not going to lie. It's at 9 o'clock. My voice has gone. I've just come back from the stadium. I was fortunate enough to go. Was I fortunate? Yeah, no, it was a great experience. It was great to be back there. But in terms of the football being watched, it was one of the worst games of football I've seen by Oxford United in quite a while. However, before I forget, I think it's best that we speak about Blackpool and how good they were. Because I am going to forget. Congratulations to Blackpool. Fair play to Blackpool. They were the better team on the day, and I think that's something that we have got to. We've got to be honest about. And I think at the end of the day, I think sometimes we may forget. We may forget to do that. I think the most important thing is we do say congratulations to Blackpool. They beat us fair and square. It is a shame, though. Of course, there's nothing to take away from the fact that we're extremely disappointed by the fact, what we've just seen by Oxford United. Whether you were there at the stadium or whether or not you were able to go to the game itself. Just checking the audio's okay, and it looks to be okay. Right, let's get straight into what we said. Like I said there, fair play to Blackpool. They're the better team on the night. But Oxford United in a position of where we could have done some serious damage. In the playoff semi-final, the home leg, we lose 3-0, fair and square, beaten and battered. And fair play to Blackpool. They were ruthless, they were clinical, and they just caused us so many problems. We didn't change the way we played. Get your thoughts in the chat right now. OXF Sam's already given his thoughts. I want to hear from every single one of you, whether you're there on the game or whether you're watching on Sky Sports or however you watched it. Give your thoughts in the chat and leave a like and subscribe. It's so important that you do all of those different things, please. I'm just going to make sure that everything is okay, and it pretty much should be. So, let's go straight into the first chat then. OXF Sam says, nothing short of disappointing. You could see there was something wasn't right today. Ruffles wasn't himself, and many of the players are very, very poor. The player, in my opinion, had a decent game was Mark Sykes, and I think you're spot on, because I think Mark Sykes was the man of the match, and he was officially given the man of the match. He had a big chance in the game, which I think he maybe could have tucked away. And another day that probably should have been a goal. And I think what we should also look at as well is we did have a few chances. We only had 3 chances, but we had a few chances. They were very, very clinical. They were better than we were, and that's all we can say. I don't think we can sit on here and moan too much, because at the same time it was an opportunity for us. It was a big opportunity. It was a playoff semi-final. And we were bitterly, bitterly disappointing. Matthew says it there. He's bitterly disappointed, and so am I, because we really had an opportunity today. We really could have put a name for ourselves. We could have really taken an opportunity live on Sky Sports, playoff semi-final first leg at the Kassam with all the not all the fans, 4,000 fans there, season ticket holders watching, a great crowd, a really decent atmosphere for the amount of people that were there. We could put on a show. We could really, really, really could have put on a show, and we didn't. We put on a dire show. I don't think we were... Well, it's quite difficult because we were very, very poor, yes. But they were very, very good. And when you have an average side on the night, I'd say a poor side on the night, against a clinical top side on the night, and they play against each other, I don't need to be a tactical genius to know how that's going to end up. And we know how that ended up. We got battered 3-0. And the scoreline says that we comfortably lost. We comfortably lost tonight. And is it tie over already? I think it is. I really think it is, because the last thing we wanted to do really was have to go to Blackpool on Friday and have to go there and go at them and get at least go there and have to break them down at their home at their home ground. We've got to do that 3 times to take that to extra time on Friday. That isn't going to happen. We needed to take a lead to Blackpool. We didn't. We bottled it, and that's a shame. And how many times have we said that? How many times this season have we got ourselves into a position where we have been so good this season? I don't want this to come across and ruin the whole season, because it's been a very, very good season in the circumstances. We started so badly. We worked our way up. We put a real shift in. We got to the position where we wanted to be. We got into the playoffs. We finished 6th on the final day. It was a great day. I remember it was a live stream. You can watch it. It was a great, it was a fantastic atmosphere. I came on here on the final day, and we get there and we produce that. All the hard work that gets put in, everyone, all the fans that are there, all the hard work, and we put in that. It's so disappointing. Paul Gross says we just weren't good enough. It's almost impossible to get into the final now. No, it is impossible. It is impossible, Paul. And it's such a shame that it's impossible. Please do give a like on the stream. And also, like everyone's doing right now, please give your thoughts on the game. Whether you watched it on Sky, obviously I'm guessing more people watched it because it was on Sky Sports. Whether you're at the game as well, I was fortunate enough to go to the game. Unfortunately, it was certainly not the result we wanted to get. I wanted to see back at the ground. But at the end of the day, it was always nice to go back to the stadium, of course, but really not what we wanted to see. Tom Underhill says Kenny Dougal was unplayable today. He was. Kenny Dougal was fantastic today in that midfield. He's very, very good. Eric Spam says we have a TV curse. We do have a TV curse when it matters, Sam. When we play in the cup though, against West Ham, against Manchester City, some of those big cup games we turn up on TV. When it matters though, I'm not saying that doesn't matter, but when it really matters, when we can define our football club in playoff big games, yeah, we do have a TV curse. You're not wrong. We were very, very poor today. I've got the sofa score, by the way. These are not my player ratings. These are sofa score player ratings to your left. We're going to go through player ratings anyway. We're going to have a little discuss about it as the game goes. We had 3 big chances in the game. We'll go through how the game went. We actually had a really decent chance early on with Brandon Barker. He should have shot. He passed it. There was it. And I think Matty Taylor in the end blocked his own teammate's shot, which is very, very disappointing. But it was a quick start. In the early 5 minutes, we were doing what we needed to do. We said before the game what we need to do. What we needed to do was go. We start strong. Was go from the off. As soon as that first whistle went, go, penetrate them, go out there and give everything you've got. Let's not have any. We don't go out there with any regret. Just go out there. If we lose this game, if we lost this game 3-0, but we dominated the game, we kept going at them. We were dominating and we were going. We lost the game 3-0 because they hit us on the counter attack 3 times. I'd sit on here and go, all right, okay, but we didn't. We didn't do that at all. I'll tell you what we did do is we had a plan A. If anyone's got any idea what our plan A was, please let me know. Because we didn't the plan A, whatever that plan A was, it didn't work. And then we didn't adapt to it. We didn't change it. When things weren't working, we didn't change it. When there was something that clearly wasn't, when we couldn't break Blackpool down, and by the way, they have the best defence in the league, and you can clearly see that tonight. They have the best defence in the league, and I don't think to be Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, or Jurgen Klopp to know that defence was an absolute wall, and we couldn't get past them tonight. We could still be going that there now, on our own, with no opposition. I don't think we'd score tonight. Let alone with a defence in front of us, as good as them. We were so poor in creating any chances. We didn't do anything creating. We didn't do anything going forward in that second half when we needed to. We were 2-0 down at half time. We needed to come out there and we need to start quick. We needed to really start quick from the off. We didn't do that really. We made a few decent chances there. Set pieces. Do not get me started on set pieces. It was like going back to what we were saying right at the start of the season. I used to come on this podcast back when we were doing pre-recorded podcasts back, literally right at the start of the season. I remember doing it right at the start of the season. I remember going on here and saying, we will not be a successful footballing side in this division and we will not have a good season if we don't sort out set pieces. And then, when we did actually start, we were actually pretty good defending against set pieces. The season started turning around. Today, the defending set pieces, it was horrific. Again, we were so bad from set pieces. We conceded 1, but we looked like we were going to concede from a few. And then our set pieces, we had 6 corners. And I think probably at least 4 of them went into the goalkeeper's hands or went straight over the opposition and didn't do anything from it. We had 1 shot on target in the home game. In front of the fans, home game. 1 shot on target. It's not good enough. We dominated possession, but did we do anything with it? No, we didn't. If they have, they got more, they might have less possession, but they're coming out of this with a 3-goal lead going into their home leg on Friday. So I don't really, there it is. Please do give your thoughts in the chat right now. Every single one of you, please give your thoughts. I'll be reading out every single chat you put in that live chat. Everything. If you didn't watch the game, ask questions, ask me questions. I don't care. Every single one of you. I just want to hear from you. I'll read them out. We'll discuss it. We've got to look through these player ratings on the left as well. These are Sofa Scores player ratings. All I can say is I think Jack Stevens has been absolutely. I think he's been really, really hard done by those player ratings. I don't think he was at fault for any of those goals. Oxford United Sam says 3-0 at their place, 3-3, and Branners to take us to Wembley. Sam, if I was in the same mentality and I was as confident as you were, mate, then I would. Well, I can only applaud it. I can only applaud it, Sam. And what I can say is we've got nothing to lose on Friday. We've got nothing to lose. We might as well lose 8-0 on aggregate if we just go for it. because there is no point in trying to do these different things and let's just go there. Let's just go there. We should have done it how we did. Mate, the atmosphere was good. Mate, the atmosphere was very, very good. The atmosphere was very, very good. Considering there's 4,000 people in there, I love being there. It was great to be back. And the whole atmosphere and the whole feeling through the day of knowing I'm going back to a football stadium, the actual just being there around fans, even though you're wearing a mask, even though it's not a full stadium, it was still such a fantastic atmosphere, and it was still so great to sort of see the lights of normality again. And that is something that I think that we were so grateful for. It's such a shame, really, that we're probably not going to go to Wembley and we're not going to be able to have that experience again before the end of the season, and more people as well, because obviously it was just season ticket holders today, and season ticket ballot people who entered the ballot that are season ticket holders, they got the opportunity to go today. If we could have gone to Wembley, it was 10,000 fans, I think, per team. So there's a good chance that a lot of other fans as well, that maybe weren't season ticket holders, would have had an opportunity to see Oxford United play again this season. Now that isn't going to happen. I'm sorry, but it's not. I know Sam's being very, very confident and still having some sort of hope. But at the end of the day, Hollow TV says ha ha. He's laughing at us. I'm guessing he's a Blackpool fan. He is a Blackpool fan. Fair enough, mate. You beat us today, Hollow TV. You beat us today, fair and square. I think that's the way it is. I have nothing else to say. That I think you beat Ferris. You beat us fair and square. You were clinical. You were ruthless, and we were the opposite. Fair enough. TM Duke says, "Was you there?" If you're asking Sam's asking it. He was there. I was there as well. I was there. It was a great atmosphere. I loved it. It says, mate, I was there in the South Upper and I was crying because I knew it was over. Yeah, well, there you go. Sam's emotional. Sam was emotional in the South Upper, and I'm not gonna lie, it does look like it is game over. Let's have a look at these player ratings then. Jack Stevens, I think, has been absolutely mugged off here. Championship, here we go. To be fair, I know these people, and to be fair, I think you've got a really good chance. I really do think you've got a really good chance, because if you play like that, whoever you play, because you will go through. Against Sunderland or Lincoln, in my opinion, I think Sunderland will go through in the game. I think Sunderland will go through, and I think it will be a Blackpool Sunderland final now. I think Blackpool have got a really good chance. They were fantastic tonight. They were absolutely ruthless tonight, and I think that's the most important thing in these playoff games. You've just got to be at your best, and you just got to go for it. And I generally thought Blackpool were absolutely fantastic tonight. They blew me away. I'm not going to lie. Please do leave a like on the stream right now. It's free. It's easy. Hit that like button, that thumbs up button. It's free to do. Just hit it. Please hit it. And subscribe as well if you're new, because on the road to 240 subscribers. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like. We don't just do Oxford United content. It's not an Oxford United fan channel. I'm an Oxford United fan. I follow League One. I follow all the different football, and I do have a podcast on it. I thought, I'm an Oxford United fan this season. I'm going to follow them and do a podcast after every single game. So why not? There we go. And that's what we've been doing throughout the season. So please do give a subscription. It's free, and also leaving a like as well. It's much appreciated. And to finish that off, what Hollow TV said about Championship, here we go. I think you will finish it. I think you've got a really good chance. It's going to be a very, very difficult final. I think Sunderland versus Blackpool, but I think you've got a good chance. I'm not going to lie, you were great tonight. If you play anything like you did tonight, I think you've got a really good chance. Joseph White says, thought Blackpool were the best team we played this season. I thought they were. And they've now got a 5-0 aggregate over their 2-0 at home, against, altogether, obviously, we drew 0-0, but in the other game. But, yeah, it was, they beat us fair and square, and that's the way it is. I think they probably are one of the best teams we've seen this season, to be honest. I think they're probably up there with probably Lincoln first day of the season. Lincoln were very, very good. I thought Blackpool here a few weeks ago when they won 2-0, they looked very, very good as well. But no, tonight they blew us away. I don't think we can complain too much about that. I'm not going to sit on here and moan and cry about it, because at the end of the day, we can't do anything. We can't control it. To be honest, they were just a better team on the day, and we didn't ever change to plan B. We didn't change the way we wanted to play. We didn't try and break down in a different way. When we knew things weren't working, we didn't adapt. And in a football match, adapting to the style of play and adapting to a football game, if things aren't going your way, is crucial. It's important. It's what's going to change. It's what's going to make you it's what's going to win you football matches. Unfortunately, if you're clinical, if you're strong, and you're ruthless, and you're better than your opposition, I can tell you 99.9% of the time you're going to win the game. And they were all of those today. They come away 3-0. It's tie over. Proper fans, they had 2 rows of defence. No, they were, they did have 2 rows of defence, mate. They certainly did. They were absolutely, they were rock solid defensively. Oxford United Sam says, again, says the thing is everyone was saying, oh, 2-0, 3-0, 2-1, and we got battered. But I was on Sky. I think someone said in injury time, I think I was on Sky as well. So if you're watching on Sky and you saw me on there, yep, I was probably looking miserable. I imagine I was looking very, very miserable. But yeah, I mean, like you said, yeah, we did lose the game, but at least we're on Sky. You know, at least we're on national television. At least we're on national television. You know, the swings and roundabouts. We don't get promoted. We were on Sky. Remember that, people. Paul Crow says, hopefully next season it will be our season. Hopefully, Paul. I think we have got to start looking towards next season now. To be honest, I think, well, I'm not going to until Friday's over. And then I think we've got a lot of things to look at. We've got McGuane playing. Let's not get into it. We have got McGuane staying as well. We've got a few other players I'm sure will be lined up. I'm sure will be looking to come in. But again, we look at that team. There's a lot of players on loan as well. You look at Barker. You look at Lee. Is that it? Is that it? That might be it. Shadipo on the bench, obviously. You know, they're players that, you know, we have got to keep hold of. Brannigan, you know, we could lose Brannigan. But then I was speaking to someone about it as well. But it was like, you know, we lose these players, but they didn't perform tonight. You know, they didn't really perform tonight at the end of the day. So, you know, we say we've got to lose these players. What if we lose these players? Well, they didn't perform tonight, really, did they? So, you know, look at it like that. OXF Sam says, I was optimistic, now I've just given up. We do so well the whole season and just perform like that. It just makes me so annoyed. We could have let Pompey have the chance to just save the heartbreak. I understand where you're coming from, Sam. I think you're right, 100%. I think we were optimistic. I think going into these playoffs, I think we had to be optimistic because we were the underdogs. We did it on the final day. We were in the relegation zone for the first 3 months of the season. To get there was an achievement on its own. You say you would want Pompey maybe to stop the heartbreak. I'd probably never agree with that, in the sense that we had an opportunity to do it. And look at Wycombe last season. They didn't even finish in the playoffs. They did it by points per game. They knocked Peterborough out. They weren't even in the playoffs when the season was finished. They got put in the playoffs last season, down to, you know, a technicality because of the COVID pandemic, you know, cutting the season short, and they went up and they beat us on there. So, you know, we could just say, well, you know, we wouldn't have had to go through that playoff situation, but, you know, we got an opportunity. We had an opportunity, and once again this season, in a position where we do the hard work, we do everything like you just said, we work our socks off, and then we get into a position where we've quite frankly bottled it, and we've got, you know, and then we sort of let ourselves down again. You know, we're a team that, you know, we're sort of so close, but yet so far, if you know what I mean. We're sort of like, yeah, this is the team, this is great, these will be heroes, this is what we want to do, and then we sort of just go there, and then we're sort of like, we're not quite there yet. And again, it's a top 6 defeat. Again, a team in the top 6 that we lose to. I know we're in the top 6, but I'll tell you something. The reason why we're in the top 6, I don't think it's not because our results against the top 6 this season. It's because of the results against the Gillinghams, against the Shrewsburys, against the Plymouths. These are the results that have got us in there. And yeah, we did okay against the top 6, but who did we beat in the league? Probably Doncaster, didn't we? We beat Doncaster, beat Lincoln. I think that's it. You know, 2 games out of how many games, you know, all the teams that were in the top 6 throughout the season. You know, I say Doncaster, obviously they didn't finish in the top 6, but when we played them, they were in the top 6, just to clear that one up. You know, we play against a team that a third, the best team in the playoffs, the best team outside of the teams that have automatically been promoted tonight, and they've sort of walked past it. They've brushed us aside like we're nothing. Then they've just swept us under the carpet and moved on. You know, we think we're there. We think we're sort of in touching distance. We then get there, and then we don't, then we don't do anything, and we sort of just fall apart. The fans are there, the whole atmosphere is there, the social media, everyone's just blowing it up. Oh, here we go, you know, fans are back. It's all a great thing, you know. Everyone gets excited. We get there, the atmosphere is really, really good. We're all so excited. I'm buzzing to be back there. Everyone's buzzing to be back there. It's on Sky Sports. Everyone's watching. And one thing I will say that's really, really annoyed me is, you know, we've got these, you know, and this is nothing to do against, you know, Premier League fans or anything like that. But when, you know, and let's be honest, there's not loads of Oxford United fans, and I've got a lot of mates that are, you know, watching football or whatever, and they're not Oxford United fans. They're Chelsea fans. They're United fans. And I have to keep going. And they go, "Who do you support?" I go, or they probably know. When we know we're different people. I'm an Oxford United fan. They know I'm an Oxford United fan. I've got a podcast that's heavily based around Oxford United. You support Oxford United, and then you have to go. They don't get to see him play. Chelsea's on Sky Sports. United are on Sky Sports every single weekend. Oxford United have an opportunity on Sky Sports, and all you're doing is you're having to tell them, now Oxford play good football. Oxford do. They play really good football. They knock it about. We're a great side. We're in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. You know, we were unlucky last year. This is our year. We're in the playoffs. They watch it on Sky. They go, "Oh, we'll give it a watch. We'll give that game a watch on Sky. You know, it's live. We can all access it pretty much. If you've got Sky, you can all watch it or whatever." And then we perform that. And then I have to go in tomorrow. I have to speak to people tomorrow and have to go, yeah, well, wow, yeah. We're not, well, there you go then. You have to, these people that don't watch Oxford United week in, week out, and this is not a disrespect to them, but people that don't watch Oxford United week in, week out, we're constantly having to tell them, even if this isn't just for Oxford United, this will be for so many teams. If Blackpool lost tonight, I'm sure there's Blackpool fans that have mates that support other big teams that are on Sky every week, and they have to constantly go, no, we're a good side. We're third in the champion. We're third in the league. We're third in League One. No, Oxford are a good side. We finished in the playoffs. We finished sixth. We're on Sky on Tuesday night. Then we form that in front of everyone. Then you have to go in and go, mate. You know what I mean? We just do all this and we work our socks off. They don't watch Gillingham 3-2. They don't watch Shrewsbury 3-2. They don't watch Plymouth Rochdale 4-3. They don't watch these games every week. We do. And then we see that, and it's just so disappointing. It's such a letdown. It sort of deflates everything really, and it's just so frustrating. Oxford United Sam's is very grateful to be there. Not even a good game for us. No, and I don't want to sound like someone that's ungrateful for going to Oxford United. I don't want it to come across like that, because I'm certainly not. I mean, I'm very, very grateful to be able to go. I was in a position where I had a season ticket. I've had a season ticket for a few years now, and this season it got to a point where, because of what's happened around the world, season ticket holders have the opportunity this season because there's a limited number of fans. I don't want to sound ungrateful. Like I said, and I think I have said it, like, I love the experience. I love the build-up. I loved the day. As the day goes on, we're getting closer to the time we leave to go to the football. We walk through the turnstile. We sit in our seat. We watch the warm-up. These different things that you do. These different things that will just become a normality on a Saturday, on a Tuesday. This is what I'm very, very fortunate. I was very, very fortunate, and whoever was there today, we're very, very fortunate. It's just a shame the boys didn't perform, and that's what I mean by that. So hopefully that didn't come across in a way that may have annoyed people, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. Yeah, same, mate. Not in a bad way. Okay, as long as I didn't come across ungrateful, because that's definitely not how I intended to come across. I literally just meant I loved everything about the game. The experience of the game, but the game itself was dire. It was dire. Still saying 3-3, he says earlier as well, Sam. Mate, if I was as confident as you, I don't know, mate. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't quite know how you're doing it. Let's do player ratings. We've got 11 people in there right now. Whether you watch the game, listen to the game, just as many people try and get involved as possible. We're going to do player ratings. Probably going to wrap it up at about 30 minutes, give it 5 minutes or so. We'll compare the ones that they got on the screen right now. Let's start off with Jack Stevens. It was very well organised with the seating when you look at the north stand and the east stand. Yeah, it was, and it did look. To be fair, the actual stadium itself looked pretty full because of the fact that because of the way they set out. So fair play to Oxford United for doing that, and also fair play for Oxford United for getting every single ballot member of the season ticket holders getting involved. To be fair, they did a great job to get us all in there, and fair play to them. It's just a shame that the players and the football club on the pitch didn't quite do the same. By the way, James Henry getting a 7 out of 10, but Mark Sykes getting a 6.4. This is why you never look at stats after a game, because that's awful. James Henry was a 5. Mark Sykes was a 7. I think that's a typo. That surely cannot be right. Can someone give Jack Stevens a rating in the chat, or every single one of you that's watching this right now? Can our goalkeeper, Jack Stevens, give your thoughts on him? They've given him a 5.9. They've given him a 5.9. I don't know how you can give us a goalkeeper that's at fault for not at fault for any of the goals a 5.9. He's a 6 or a 6.5. I mean, 5.9, maybe 6. 6, I'd say 6 or 6.5. Maybe it's not that far off, but maybe it just looks bad because it's in dark red. But I think that's quite harsh, to be fair. Joseph says 5. Maybe I'm being 5.9, 6.8. I think, yeah, maybe. Tom Underwood says, hashtag stats are for mugs. Hashtag you are correct, because that was awful. I think, no, yeah, I think 5 or, I think 6.5, to be honest. Like, he actually made a really decent double save, to be fair. Like, I don't think he was that bad. I thought he was alright. I think 5.9 is quite harsh. Left back, Josh Ruffles, then they're giving him a 6.1. I think he's lucky to get that. I think he's got 5 tonight, boys. Or girls. And girls. I think 5. I think a 5 out of 10 for Josh Ruffles. He was not great going forward. They sussed him out pretty well. Sam Sykes deserves an 8.2. I think that might be slightly up. Maybe 7.5, maybe 8.2. I don't know about that. Sam's just doing it in any order he fancies. He's off on one. Josh says, everyone. Well, we're trying to get. Everyone's just doing their own. It was fair enough. Josh Ruffles 4. There we go. Josh Ruffles with a 4 out of 10. I think he was probably a 5 for me. 4, fair enough. Taylor's got a 7 from Sam. Interesting stuff. I think 7's quite nice considering I don't think he touched the ball. I'd probably give him a 4, or no, not 4. Sorry, I'll give him a 6. I'll give Matty Taylor a 6. I'll give Henry a 5. I'd give Sykes a 7. I'll probably give Lee a 4 or 5 because I don't think I forgot he even was playing. Joseph, I'm not going to pronounce your second name because I don't want to absolutely butcher it. You've got a great second name, mate, but pronunciation's never my thing. I got laughed at for naming the Sunderland striker Charlie Wyke, the other day. So I'm not going to try pronunciation for someone's actual name that's put that comment in, because I'm not being funny. You've got a great second name and I'm going to ruin it if I try it. So Joseph, that's okay. Not being mean, but Oxford is definitely out now and no way coming back. Yous played like Bristol Rovers tonight. Oh, we were worse than Bristol Rovers tonight, mate. We were worse than Bristol Rovers tonight. We were absolutely horrific tonight. We were very, very poor. I'm guessing I don't know, who do you support, Joseph? Who do you support? Are you a Blackpool fan? I think I recognise your name. Have you been here before? I recognise your name. Is that because we've had a few Josephs? Well, I know we've got Joseph Warwick in the chat right now, so that might be something to do with it. But no, we were very, very poor tonight, Joseph. I think we were awful tonight. I think we looked off it. We didn't create anything. They created it way more than we did, and that's the way it is. Brandon Barker, but I think that's one of the only ones that we didn't see. That we didn't get. I didn't get a score from you in the chat. I thought he started the game quite well, Brandon Barker, and I think they sussed him out really quickly, and I think he just fell off a cliff. So yeah, I'd have to probably go with a 6 for Brandon Barker. Oxford says Oxford United Sam says I left 10 minutes early. Was that to stop the fact that because they were letting the stands out one at a time, so you didn't have to queue? Was that because it was that horrific? I think I can guess. Joseph says I support Sunderland and I've been here before. Yeah, no, I did. I knew I recognised your name, mate. I remember it wasn't that Sunderland game that you came in. That was when we lost 3-1, wasn't it? Well, I think you're in the final, Joseph, and I think you're going to be playing Blackpool. For some reason, something's telling me you're playing Blackpool in the final. I don't know what it is. It's not because we just lost 3-0 at home and we still got to play them away. That might be something to do with it. Don't think we quite need to, don't think there's too much there. Sam says, yeah. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what a night. I mean, I sort of want to wake up Tuesday morning again, sort of relive that whole moment of going to the ground and sort of like rewatching a different game of football. Unfortunately, they haven't quite invented time machines yet. But if they want to, just get in touch, because I'd love to go back in one, because that was quite awful, really, quite sad. 3-3, mate. Don't forget, come back to me when it happens. Right. Well, everyone remember. Well, that's it. When this goes up as a video, Sam, go in the comments, and because the comments will stay. Just put 3-3 down here, and then it will never be forgotten. And then and then we'll remember that on Friday night when you draw 3-3. And when we draw 3-3. That's what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much everyone that's been part of the stream tonight. We've had so many people. For a defeat, we've had so many people. It's such a shame that we have so many people when we lose, really. If we'd beaten Blackpool 3-0 tonight and we had this many people, trust me, it'd be such a better atmosphere. But there we go. Sometimes, we can't really control what happens on the pitch. Oxford United were just not at the races today, and Blackpool were they were on it. They were on it, and they were ruthless. Joseph says, finally, I feel confident for tomorrow. I go for 4-0 to Sunderland. 4-0 Sunderland? 4-0. Is that 4-0 Sunderland? And 1-1 draw in the second leg. So that's a 5-1 aggregate. There you go. Oxford says, will do. There we go. Well, we got a confident Sunderland fan. We'll remember that as well, Joseph, when you say you're going to win 4-0 tomorrow. That is a very, very confident scoreline. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jack. This has been the Unfan Podcast. Thank you, everybody that's been part of the stream tonight. It finishes at the Kassam. Oxford United 0, Blackpool 3 in the playoff semi-final in League One first leg. Is it tie over? We'll have to find out on Friday. We'll be back on Friday at 9 o'clock. Obviously, we're not going to Blackpool, so we can get straight back into it straight after the game. At 9 o'clock, we'll be on here talking about that. I've got a feeling we know what the outcome's going to be, but at the end of the day, we've got nothing to lose on Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Ben Andrews, the final chat, says, I'm gobsmacked after that performance. Every player underperformed today. I think you're right. Oxford United did underperform today. It's such a shame. Good stream, mate, says Sam. Thank you very much for everything that's interacted. Sam, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I've been Jack. This has been the Unfan Podcast. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you in a bit. Take care.